Okay, let's welcome back Texas Representative. He is Republican, Brian Babin. Congressman, it's great to see you. Okay, here's the story. It's great to see you. The media has been hammering away at a very sensitive topic. It has to do with the section of identity politics. It has to do with race. You know, we've heard for a long time that the president is, quote, racist, that he's misogynistic. But then you see the exit polls, and the president did pretty well with female voters and did well with black voters and Hispanic voters. When you saw that story, you know, the critics are saying that identity politics, so-called identity politics, is the biggest loser in this race so far. What do you think?
I agree 100%. I think that this is one of the biggest. The Democrats constantly play the race card. You know, they try to sow dissension between the races, the sexes, the nationalities. This is one of their biggest modus operandi, if you will. And I think this was an utter failure. I think the American people are sick and tired of the race card. They're sick and tired of identity politics, and I think it was proven out by the turnout and the people who voted for Donald J. Trump. Now he is behind in the electoral vote count right now, but I can tell you that millions and millions of diverse Americans went out and voted for this president in spite of the never-ceasing 100%, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week criticism and demonizing this man. And I think it was disproven. And let me say one other thing. We had every Democrat seat that was flipped by one of our Republican candidates was flipped by a female, by a minority, or a veteran. And so I can tell you that the GOP is more diverse now. This is a historically diverse class that's going to be coming in the 117th Congress. And this race is not over yet.
Interesting.
This race is not over yet for the presidency.
You know, the exit polls show that 1 out of 5 black men voted for President Trump. That's up from 1 out of 7 4 years ago. His support among Hispanics now at 32%. That's higher than where it stood, where that stood 4 years ago. You know, so we just endured for the last 6 months, Congressman, you know, listening to the debate about systemic racism in America, you know, about, you know, what was going on throughout the protests and the riots and so forth. And then you heard that the U.S. regulatory system is racist, the U.S. foreign policy is racist, U.S. tax policy is inherently racist. And so when you hear that, when you hear the systemic racism argument, and, you know, you hear people out there saying the U.S. is not systemically racist. What do you think about that debate? Because go ahead, take that on.
Not at all. This country does not have systemic racism. We heard that nonsense about the police departments being systemically racist. The GOP is systemically racist. These are the types of things that are just parroted by the hard left and the radical wing of the Democratic Party, which seems to be in control of that party. And it just simply is not true. And, you know, we've seen over and over again that the American people are sick and tired of this, and that they want their leaders to start pulling together. They don't want to be divided. I hear that all the time. There are people that are angry. I will tell you this. There are some angry people out there about being called chumps and deplorables just because they supported President Trump and they were Republicans or decided to vote Republican. And I think this is backfiring on the Biden presidency and on their candidates for Senate and for the House. We picked up 5 seats. We have several pending. I think we're going to hang on to the Senate. And this race ain't over yet. President Trump is a fighter, and we want to see a transparent process about these vote countings.
We hear you on that. You know what's interesting, too, final word, is that CNN's own poll found that a plurality of Americans said the economy is the #1 issue for them. Jobs in the economy. Racial issues were distant, way behind second place. Final word, Congressman, and then we got to go.
I would just say that I am proud to be an American. I think Americans came out, voted for this president, even though he may come up short on it, but it better be an honest election.
Okay.
I trust in God. I don't trust the Democrats always, and we want to see some proof. We want to have people counting the votes from both sides so we know exactly what's going on.
Got it. All right, Congressman Babin, it's good to see you. Come back soon.